My wife and I were shopping at a local flea market just for odds and ends. We walked up to a table and I was just sitting there, and I was able to negotiate for 5 or 6 different items for like $5. I recognized it as being Slavic, or at least the letters, but I couldn't read it.
Right.
So I did recognize the George Orwell with the pig, and I assumed it was Animal Farm.
It is Animal Farm by George Orwell, and it's the Ukrainian edition. In fact, it's one of the very earliest translations that was made of the book in 1947. And it has a curious history. One of the publishers in Ukraine got a copy of the English edition from 1945 and read it out loud to displaced persons in Ukraine, did a translation on the fly. And they were so impressed they decided they needed to do a publication and wrote to Orwell, who immediately agreed to authorize a translation and actually produce a special preface in this copy, and in this edition alone, where he accounts the reasons why he wrote the book and the background for his inspiration. He had been in Spain, and he was thinking of a way to try and capture the challenges of totalitarianism and Stalinism that was emerging. And he felt that he needed to have a story that was easily comprehensible by almost anyone. And he had seen a young 10-year-old boy whipping a horse in the middle of the fields in Spain, and thought, wouldn't it be unbelievable if these animals could rise up with their strength against the oppression they felt. He thought it was a perfect parable for Stalin and totalitarianism to come. So the book was printed in Munich for the Ukrainian publisher in an edition, we believe, around 3,500 copies. But the Ukrainian authorities confiscated at least 1,500 of those as they came into the country, because the Ukrainian authorities were, under the Soviet regime, were afraid of people reading this book. We believe about 2,000 were distributed to so-called displaced persons who were fighting against the Stalinist regime. Because it's a very limited number that survived, the value of the book is, for an auction, about $1,000 to $1,500.